بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. This is our program Spirit of Values and this is Dr. Tariq Rashid. Today we are continuing with the value of time part 2. Let's start with the following research and statistics that was done by Stephen Covey establishment showing how employees understand the concept of time, and several organizations were tested in this questionnaire. They found 37% only of employees can really distinguish the main vision and goals of their organization, while the other 63 are only there for the sake of salary at the end of the month. 20% of the employees really care for the result, 80% care for the salary. Also, 20% can really distinguish between their job title and the main goal and vision of their organization. And the problem was 15% only feel job security, while 85% they don't feel job security. 20% trust their managers, 80% they don't trust their managers. And the problem was 13% only believe in team and 87% believe in the I. If you want really to invest time, we is the success. I do not control everything. So let's believe in others. I and you equals we. This research, when the Pentagon looked at this research, they were astonished why we have such dramatic statistics. And when they go deeply, they found the main problem was in the trust. When you trust your manager, when you trust your country, when we trust others, we can move and achieve. So they start thinking, how can we get the value of trust? If you get back to our episodes, we discussed in one of the episodes the value of trust. Just to remind you, I will trust someone if he or she is competent and credible. So the idea of trust, and also the idea of team. 1 + 1 equals how much? No, not 2. This is mathematics. 1 + 1 equals 2. 1 + 1 should equal 1. One direction, one goal, all efforts in the same direction. This is the meaning of achievement of time. So the main idea, first things first. How can we get benefit from this very important habit? Let it be a habit. First things first. Now we have to learn some of the rules that will support that first things are first. Put everything in a schedule of priorities. And please, learn to say no. Some people cannot say no. Always ask yourself from here. استفتي قلبك وإن أفتوك. If from here it's no, it should be no. Some people, believe it or not, from inside, no, but they say yes. One of the time wasters in our lives, being unable to say no. Whenever the situation no, you should announce it no. And always remember to find the main priorities in your life. Define the priorities and try to set some sort of rules for that. To help in how to set priorities in our lives, I will share with you now how can we do it as follows. Now, let's see how can we start thinking of tasks in our lives. We will discuss two issues, importance and urgency. Importance and urgency. In such a case, we will have 4 quadrants. 4 quadrants. In this quadrant, which is quadrant number 1, issues that are important and urgent. Try to think. Important and urgent tasks. But in quadrant number 2, important but not urgent. Very important but not urgent. Think of things important in your life but not urgent. Quadrant number 3, urgent but not important. And the disaster. Not important nor urgent. Think, where are most of your time invested or wasted? Important and urgent issues that are associated with a deadline. If the deadline comes and you did not achieve, you will pay the tax. So important and urgent, for example, we have a project to be delivered in so and so, important and urgent. Kids have exams at the date of so and so, important and urgent. So important and urgent, most people are important and urgent. This quadrant is quadrant of stress. If you are here most of your time, you are under stress. And this is called what we call the suiciding quadrant. If you're always here, important and urgent, you will be under stress. How can I transfer to important but not urgent? This is what we call the leading quadrant. Most successful people are here. Important but not urgent. Let's see, what is important but not urgent? My health is very important. But if I don't care for it, it will become urgent in some issues. So if I care for my health as a very important issue, it will never be an urgent. Planning, organizing, building relations, innovation, important but not urgent. This is called the leading quadrant. This is prevention, this is correction, and always prevention is better than correction. If you invest your time here, you will never reach here. Let's just give an example. What is the most important thing in your life? Please think. What is the most important thing in your life? No, not your kids. Your kids will come later. Health. If your health is affected, all your family is affected. But how many people think of their health? Sorry to say, most people care for their health when they feel sickness. When it becomes here, they start thinking because it becomes now urgent. Please care for your health. It's very important, but not urgent. Prevention is the idea, correction is here. But urgent, but not important. Some people have some issues, urgent, but not important. Routine tasks, telephone interruptions, and the disaster, not important, nor urgent, and takes part of your time. Socializing for long times, sleeping for more than 9 hours a day. So, please, each one of you, try to put percentages for how much tasks are in this quadrant, in that, and here, and here. The total is 100% of time. We found by research that 65% of time of most people are in urgent and important. Urgent and important. And here, maybe 20% of their time planning. And here, approximately 10% and 5%. But this is totally wrong. In priority management, in caring for our most important resource, which is time, really we should transfer. 65% of your time should be here, important but not urgent. Planning, forecasting, building relations, and only 20% here. And if you try to eliminate this, congratulations. Although we cannot really try to make sure that we can eliminate it, it's very difficult to eliminate not important, not urgent. Socializing, some people always give lots of sleeping. If this is more than 5%, please try to invest. You will feel sorry someday, sometime. In order not to feel sorry, the idea of priorities comes towards this. So here is planning, organizing, managing, innovation, building relations, my health. Here is issues with deadlines, and this is routine tasks, and this is just wasting our time. So this is very important to understand the concept of priorities in our lives by doing this important exercise of the urgency and importance of tasks. Now, if we look and give the titles for each of the 4 quadrants, the first quadrant is what we call the procrastinator, and usually under stress. Under stress. Procrastination is one of the major time wasters in our lives. But the second quadrant, people who set priorities in their lives. And number 3 is the yes man or the yes woman. Please, whenever it's no, think how to say no. There is a good reference, a book called How to Say No or The Art of Saying No. And the slacker who is wasting time. And this is an example of each one of the quadrants, how to fill. For example, quadrant number 1 includes the following. I have an exam tomorrow. It's urgent and important. Some of my friends get injured. Very urgent, very important. You are late for work. Urgent and important. Project we have to deliver. Urgent and important. If you are always here, you will sure be under stress. How to move towards the second quadrant? Planning, setting goals, do a schedule for our week, exercising for your health, your relations, relaxation, very important. The third quadrant is the yes man, unimportant phone calls. Sometimes you are sitting, working and focusing, and the mobile is ringing. Yes, how are you? And you go through a long call, just wasting time. Other people problems, peer pressures, and the disaster in quadrant number 4. Not urgent, nor important. Too much TV, endless phone calls, time wasters, all of this. Please try to think deeply. Once you lose your time, you will never get it back. And at the end, we will be actually, by God, will ask, how did you invest your time? Have you invested your time correctly in the 5 main directions? In your personal life, professional organizational life, with your family, with your society, and with your God. So how to increase our time in the second quadrant, which is important but not urgent? Try first not to procrastinate an issue. When you set a schedule and plan your time, for sure you will start investing. Say no to all activities in quadrant number 3 and cut down any issue in quadrant number 4, which is not urgent nor important. So always think, and think by the end of this episode, how can I really understand my priorities in life? So where do you spend your time? In order to check this, I recommend to apply the following strategy. For 3 weeks, make a weekly schedule. We don't believe in daily schedule. Daily schedule will manage you, will stress you. But if you take a schedule for 1 week, okay, how can we design this schedule? First, we need 7 columns for the days and another 3 columns. So 10 columns, which is the time schedule for the week. Assume you start from the coming week. So we start from, for example, Saturday till next Friday. The first column is my roles in life. Define your roles in life. And just to help you, one of your roles is an employee. And if you are a business for a certain owner. So this is very important. I am an employee or as an owner, father or mother if you are married, if you have kids, wife and husband is another role. Also role with yourself, role as an employee, role with your society, and role with your relations, family, friends, as well as spiritual role with God. These are the roles. In the second column, we start set our goals for the next week. So next week, what are the main goals I will do in my work? For example, setting the budget, doing so and so, define it. Set the goals for the next week. Then we move to the third column, which is priorities. Which is priority number 1, 2, or 3, and then you schedule your week. You will find when you schedule weekly, you can control, you can manage. And I assure you, you will find by calculation of 3 successive weeks, I am sure, even the busiest one in life, he or she will find 40 hours free. What about others? Some people, when they do the schedule, they found they have 70 or 80 hours a week free. Can you schedule and manage all your roles in life? Because sometimes people feel sorry. Oh, if times can get back, I will do so and so. We don't like anyone to feel sorry. To get further information, we will go next episode with lots of tools to help you manage exactly your time. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.